Hello there and good morning. After the recent Project Fear assault by Remain politicians, the establishment and the mainstream press on the idea of the UK leaving the EU without a deal, or more technically correct, on World Trade Organization terms, you would be forgiven for thinking that the World Trade Organization, or WTO, must be an awful setup. So how come the EU itself operates quite happily under the WTO umbrella? How come the UK can already trade very successfully around the world on WTO terms with non-EU countries? And just for the record, the UK is already a member of the WTO in its own right, and is up to date in paying its membership fees as an individual member state of the WTO. So talk of having to rejoin the WTO is completely false and misleading. So it's great to see an informative document issued by Global Britain and Labour Leave that blows the doors off of the anti-Brexit, no-deal, WTO exit fear-mongering that's been splashed across the front pages for the last few months or more. The authors of this excellent piece of work are former Tory Cabinet Minister Lord Lilley and the General Secretary of Labour Leave Chilton. The 30-page document gives us 30 truths about leaving the EU on WTO terms and is a must-read for all MPs, all peers of the realm, all journalists and of course all voters. It completely dismantles the whole WTO fear-mongering in a straightforward and easy-to-understand way. It points out that using the WTO route will allow us to keep £39 billion and spend it how we wish inside the UK. That it would instantly end a 2-year plus corrosive uncertainty caused by the transition and negotiation period proposed in Theresa May's Brexit in name only deal. That the Irish border can be managed administratively without a hard border. But mostly it shows that far from being the hard option, the WTO provides us with a safe haven from which to operate. As it says, the WTO guarantees that the EU cannot discriminate against the UK. Just like all the other WTO member countries, the EU would have to give the UK the best terms they give to other countries with whom they have no preferential agreement, and that there is an inbuilt dispute resolution mechanism. If the WTO is so awful, how come our exports based on WTO terms have increased much faster than our export trade into the EU single market? And get this, the authors also point out that any EU tariffs applied against us would be worth only half the net contributions we already make. So what we've been doing is paying £10 billion a year in membership fees to avoid paying £5 billion in tariffs. Now all this is just a taster. By the time you get to the end of the 30 pages, to which I've left a link in the description box below, you realise we don't need the EU. In fact, no one really does need the EU. Unless, of course, you have the political aim of shoehorning the UK into a totalitarian EU superstate. Anyway, what do you think about all of this? Please leave a comment below and thank you for watching.